Welcome. My name is Paul Christian. I'm with Aviso. And with me are Drake Tideman and Matt English from CapIntel. Today, we wanted to hold an open house. This is the second of two open houses that we've held on the CapIntel tool, being a relatively new tool, being in use with many of our credit union partners. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to hold a session, understand what is happening or what has happened over the last little while with the tool in terms of development, and then what's coming, and then open it up to questions from yourselves if there are any. Matt and Drake are happy to answer, whether they be questions about future capabilities or potential issues that you've seen overall that you'd love to let the team know about, and possibly share as further enhancements in the future. So it is a quick agenda here today. First thing we'll do is go through our intros and welcome you. But as I did say, a recap of where we've been, what's some of our upcoming product enhancements, and then Q&A.
All right. I guess this might be my cue to introduce myself. So thanks so much for those of you that showed up. Hopefully, I'm a familiar face. I've been working pretty closely with both Aviso and the individual credit unions through this entire process, and super excited to share kind of what we've got so far, what we've done, and what's upcoming.
Great, and Matt.
Hey guys, yeah, so Matt English here. I'm the product manager for primarily around proposals. So any proposal features that are going to be upcoming, I'll showcase a few of those. And I'll also be able to showcase a couple other just quick demos of some stuff that we've got upcoming, so you guys can get a feel for what it's going to look like and how it would interact. And to be clear, all of these things are going to be kind of hidden behind some feature flags initially, so it's not like anything that we do is necessarily has to be rolled out right away. We can make sure that we give proper time for education and training before they all go live. But that's the plan for today.
Great, thanks, Matt and Drake. Okay, so just a quick recap of where we have been over the last 5 months. On Jan 4th, we activated licenses for a number of users across many credit unions. We held training with some of our initial users via e-learning and then live training sessions. And then we've offered ongoing support from Aviso through business practice management, and the mailbox is shown here. We've also made sure that wealth leaders that are in the respective credit unions are still involved and actively managing an understanding of the tool and users and receiving feedback through them that you may be providing around the tool and the process for setting up and onboarding. Right now, we have over 120 users that are active with the CapIntel licenses, and that's growing. It has grown from where we started in January, and continue to see interest in the tool from advisors, and then even outputs that are being shared with clients. That's receiving positive feedback and comments as well. So quite a bit has happened in the last few months. And then there's a few things that are coming in the near future as well. So what is available today? It is that professionally designed investment proposal tool and template. We've made available marketing pages. We also have made it easy for looking up NEI portfolios. So those were built in. And then we also, for the MFDA side, built in the risk profile questionnaire that's identical to the discovery tool questionnaire, so that in the event you want to do a risk profile with a client and you're looking at a profile or a portfolio with the client today, you can go through that risk profile questionnaire there and not have to switch over to discovery. And then what's coming in the near future? The Aviso managed solutions, so that would be OMP, OPI, and CMA, will be available within the tool, and that's coming very soon. And that gives you as advisors the opportunity to quickly look up those various solutions and load them into your portfolio for what you're analyzing. And then what Drake and Matt are going to talk about is other product enhancements that CapIntel is working on, and those would be coming in the next 4 months. And as Matt said, a quick demo of potentially a couple. So I'm going to turn over to Drake to run through our short list of product enhancements.
All right, yeah. So super excited to share some of this with you, and by no means is this all-encompassing of everything that we're working on here at CapIntel, but certainly some exciting pieces. So the first is going to be daily performance in the historical return graph. So today, you may have noticed that we do get daily performance data, but the hypothetical return graph shows weekly performance. Obviously, we've had a pretty volatile market, and so especially when showing a shorter time duration, it's going to be sometimes important to have that daily performance. And so the graphs will be reflecting that data that the numbers are already reflecting. The second piece is a CSV portfolio upload. We know that some of you folks are working with clients that have maybe more complex investments and a wider variety of investments, maybe hold a lot of positions, and so you'll be able to more easily input those into CapIntel, leveraging a CSV portfolio upload rather than manual entry into the platform. So we're super excited about that one. Um, Matt is going to talk a little bit about some of the proposal content enhancements today. So we'll be excited to share that and the portfolio builder improvements as well. Performance by any date, you may notice that you're able to show performance in the investment comparison tool today by selecting any month and year as a start and end date. So rather than just having month and year, you'll be able to show performance from an individual day, maybe from the individual day that say that investor entered the market, for example. And then lastly, we know that fund screener improvements are going to be super important, especially with some of the IROC folks that we spoke to. They were relying pretty heavily on the fund screener from Morningstar to not only find the funds that they were using, but search for new funds. And so we've been putting a ton of time and effort into figuring out how best to make it so that it goes from just a search tool to more of a research tool, and really enables you in your practice to have more fund discovery versus just being able to find the funds that you're already familiar with. So those are just some of the things that we're working on here at CapIntel. Super excited to talk to you a little bit more about it.
Awesome. So I can take over here. Let's see if this is going to allow me to share. It's the first time I've used WebEx. So let's see. All right. Let's see here. Grant access to sharing content. Sorry, guys. It's saying it's giving me access. Let's try this one more time. Sorry, guys. This is not working for me here. I'm going to try one thing here, Drake. I'm going to Slack this Figma file to you, and we can walk through it maybe from your screen, if that's okay.
That sounds like hopefully something I'm able to do.
Apologies about that. I didn't expect to have an issue there. There's some permission that I think I need to turn on. It's not working for me. So let's see if we can. So this is what we're going to show is first is the proposal kind of builder enhancements or content builder enhancements that we're looking to roll out. As we try to open this up, if Drake's able to, I'll try to give a little bit of context as to what we're looking to get out of this enhancement. One of the things that we've heard a lot through interviews and through conversations with lots of different advisors is it's really important for the advisor to be able to tell their story. And part of that is very dependent on the retail investor that you're dealing with. So for example, you may have some retail investors that are much more interested in understanding where fees are coming from, or maybe some of them are really new to the market and you want to explain the products that you're trying to put in front of them. And so maybe you want to have more of the marketing content early on in that presentation and then dive into the numbers. And so one of the things that we're looking to do with this is, as it stands currently, we don't have the ability for advisors to reorder sections within the proposal. And so what this mainly is looking to focus on is giving that flexibility for the advisor to be able to move around and move different sections around within the proposal in order to match that conversation and that kind of conversation flow that they're looking to have with the retail investor. So before I get too much further along, Drake, any luck there?
I'm having a little trouble with Figma here. I
Yeah.
just requested access to the file, so maybe if you can do that, I will.
Try one more thing here. This is odd.
Looks like it's loading up now.
Load that for you? Oh, there we go. Great. So let's see here if we can. And should be you. This doesn't look like the right one, but give me one sec here. I'm going to see if I can. Do you mind if I try to leave and see if I join again? Because I should have the permission to be able to share my screen turned on, but it might make me exit out of the.
For it.
Okay, just give me one sec.
In the meantime, while Matt's gone, do any of the folks on the meeting have any questions that they'd like to get answered while we're working on getting Matt's screen sharing working? It's possible to make us.
So Karen had a question. Is it possible for us to make or save our own templates, choosing which sections we want to include or what order eventually, which is great as standard, saving it as a template.
Got it. So I think the question is once you've selected sort of what's going into the proposal, you want to be able to save that as consistently, just be able to pull that directly back in. That is certainly something we're exploring. Hey Matt. So that is certainly something that we're exploring. The way it works today is that whatever you did last is automatically saved as what would be expected in the what would be expected to be what you'd need in the output. but we've had a couple requests now to have like maybe there's a few different types of customers and you like to send the same proposal, and some has a little more information, some has a little less. So it's certainly on the roadmap, but doesn't exist today.
Yeah, just the rest of that question is what I would want for a new client proposal versus an existing client coming in would be different, and
Right.
being
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
tailor it that way.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's certainly something that we've started to hear. And we'll I'll make sure I'll make sure Matt stays on it. He's the proposal guy.
Mhm.
Awesome. And I think you guys should be able to see my screen now. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And yeah, follow up with me on that because I know I missed a conversation there. But I'll jump into this just to show kind of what the designs look like. Of course, this is just a fake enterprise that we've got set up, and this is all just done in Figma at the moment, but it's currently being worked on with our development team. So as you can see, the menu is going to look a little different. Currently, we would just have a long list of checkboxes where you can decide to include different analysis sections or marketing content, depending on what presentation you're trying to share. What we want to be able to do and what we're actually going to add is a menu that expands, keeps your analysis content kind of separated into different buckets depending on what type of metric it is that you're looking for. You'd have a way to start filtering by certain analysis modules. Once you select it, it's going to automatically jump you to that page that it's been added to, so you can review the data and decide if you want to keep it in the presentation or not. And then once you've added in the sections that you want to include, you also have that ability now to drag and drop this to a new place within the presentation. So again, allowing you to sort of set up that conversation flow or that talk track that you want to have with your client. There's a couple other details in here as well, like you're going to have the ability to automatically jump to these different sections by using this little icon that you're going to see, and it's going to bring you right to that page. So currently you have to scroll down to see each analysis section and where they're located in the presentation, but in this case, you'll be able to jump directly there. And we also have a few other things coming as well as part of a separate release that we're not going to showcase here, but things like user settings and having presets. So we hear a lot of times folks have almost like different personas depending on the retail client that they're dealing with. So I use the example a lot. You might have a brand new retail investor who is brand new to the industry and doesn't really know a whole lot. So you might want to have sort of a default setting enabled for, let's say, like a more simplistic retail investor. Whereas you might be dealing with, an engineer who really enjoys seeing all of the data. So you could have a default setting set up for, a more advanced investor.
So Matt, that was kind of the question that was asked just before you jumped off and then back on, but the ability to save a template, is that what you mean by that? There'll be predefined templates, or will advisors be able to create their own and then save that template?
Exactly. So we would have sort of all of the options that an advisor would have access to. And then they'll be able to decide what order and what different pieces they want to include. And they could have multiple different presets, as we're calling them, set up. So again, just depending on who it is they want to talk to, they could have a proposal that's got 10 different sections in it in a particular order, and then the other one could have 30 different sections in a different order.
Okay, and that can be saved as well then by the user?
Yeah, exactly.
Great, that's good. Well,
And
question answered.
yeah, perfect. Yeah. And we have also explored the option to also have like an enterprise-wide settings. I don't know if it's as relevant maybe in your situation, but the organization as a whole could say anybody who falls underneath us here and is using this tool, CapIntel, this is the order that we recommend everybody use if you wanted to do so kind of at an enterprise level as opposed to an individual user level.
Great.
Awesome. I've got one other kind of demo that I can walk through. It's more related to the CSV upload. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to stop my screen share for a second and I'll pull up the other one. Let me just get this one set up. So get the right screen. Awesome. So for this one, I'm not as close to this one. This one doesn't fall quite as much into the proposal side of things, but I have seen it progressing, so I feel fairly comfortable talking about it. But this one, Drake kind of alluded to it earlier, but really the concept here is that we know that some of your clients, or maybe their prospective clients, might have a portfolio already set up somewhere else, have all kinds of different holdings in it. And currently the tool would basically make you do these things one at a time and allocate the weight or the units appropriately for each of those individual holdings that they would have in a portfolio. In this case, what we're looking to accomplish here is really uploading a CSV file. So if somebody had a really large portfolio with lots of different holdings and equities in it, what we'd like to have is something that looks more like this. So you have the opportunity to download one of our templates so you know what the structure needs to be. We do actually allow you to kind of upload your own documents as well, and you'll see what that workflow looks like in a second. But essentially what you would do is upload the CSV file. Obviously, I'm just skipping a step here. It's going to give you a brief overview of what it's grabbed from that Excel file. So you'll be able to see if the units and everything make sense. And if the headers don't match with what you've got, what you're seeing here, you just be able to switch and say, actually, this is the QSIP code. Don't worry about what these titles are now, but this is actually QSIP instead of the exchange, for example. If something was mixed up on that spreadsheet, you'd continue to the import. And as you'd see, it would start loading the funds on the left-hand side, basically give you a success code, and you'd be able to, save and move forward. And we do have obviously some designs for kind of the unhappy paths if something were uploaded and it was too large, or the file didn't meet the criteria that it needed, as in it wasn't a CSV file or an Excel file and it was a PDF, it would give you that notification, of course, as well. But ultimately, we're just looking to save time here. We know that folks spend a lot of time. This tool is actually used. We've looked at the data from our platform pretty intensely, and we know that this portfolio builder tool or modal is a highly used feature. So we're really looking to find ways that we can speed up the process for advisors. We know that you're busy folks, so we're trying to make that process as fast as possible.
Awesome. Looks like we did have a question as well, and Matt, I'm not sure if this is your team or we can take it to other parts of the product team, but the question was, is it on the roadmap to be able to demonstrate the income stream withdrawals from a specific fund within the portfolio rather than all of the funds sort of in a balanced fashion?
It's a really good question. It's probably better off for Evan to answer that one. What I will say is that we have been exploring the income stream model tool a little bit lately. It doesn't have a ton of usage right now on the platform. And so basically the next question is it not being used because it doesn't have the functionality that it requires? Or is it just not a highly requested tool for advisors to be accessing? But I think it would be great if, let me see who answered or asked the question, Karen. If Karen, if you're open to maybe a quick conversation just to dig in a little bit further into that with one of our other PMs who manages that part of the platform, I think we would definitely love to do that if you're open to it.
That's great. All right. So we got some good questions there, and some good demos. So I hope this quick session today helped understand where we've been with CapIntel as a tool, where Viso continues to support and invest, and then how it will evolve over time. And then I think I see just one more question, Karen. I think your response is in there. So I think what might work best is if we have someone reach out to you direct, Karen.
I can do that, Karen. I'll connect with you, and if you're open to it, connect you with someone on the product team, because we would definitely like to see increased usage. We think it can be useful if set up the right way. So would love to get some feedback.
Amazing. Okay, we'll keep this quick and simple then. Once again, Drake, Matt, thanks for your time and the quick demo there. And we will do this again in the future where we have the opportunity to share what's now added to the roadmap and further enhancements coming along.
Perfect.
Thanks again. Have a great day.
Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.